into network marketing with ASEA. I established a company called Q Up Fundraising to help nonprofits raise money by offering a product that everybody has a television in their home and are paying money for streaming services.
Right.
And so we've got a pretty robust platform to help them save some money and without losing value, and use that as a fundraising implement. Then ASEA, which is a nutritional product. It's so those are things that I have a passion for, is helping other people through fundraising, the small organizations, churches, local nonprofits, not the institutional nonprofit, but to help them make more money on a passive way by using an affiliate program. Just say, we found a company that provides great value. Take a look at it. If you like it, you subscribe. Part of your proceeds, your subscription is going to the fundraising for the organization. So it's simple as that.
Okay.
So it's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. Find a product that people are using, have a need for, and if you have a passion for it, that's your fuel to keep it going. And, so that's what I've been doing for the last several years, is transition from traditional businesses to affiliate and network marketing. But I found products and services that I have an emotional attachment to.
Right. One of my big deals was here in Lubbock right after we deregulated last year. It'd been just a little over a year ago. We deregulated back in January of last year. And I joined ACN a day before Lubbock deregulated from LPNL to these 50 plus competitive companies, and Zoom was one of them. So I just went out and I started talking to people, and, apartment complexes. I've gotten a lot of customers from apartment complexes and some neighborhoods. I don't go door to door because they don't want us doing that, like Reliant and TXU did. But I had another way of getting in touch with them, okay? Because I did a lot of door to door with Vex's fiber internet, because people were not happy with their present internet service provider and they wanted to go 100% optic. And I just did a survey. I said, here's some of the essential services that you're using. You're using internet. You got to have electricity to run your internet. And you're probably using a cell phone. You got Dish Network, DirecTV. So there was like 3 or 4 services there. And then, of course, the health sharing with Impact. Talked to people that were paying $2,500, $3,000 a month for, their health care. And we could probably, chop their health care in half with health sharing. But it's been a concept that's been around for about 40 years.
Yeah.
And
that's a great company, Impact Health. I was associated with through Team National.
Right.
It has taken off for the past few years when they partnered up with ACN. It's probably one of the highest paying commissions that we have. And then, I talked to businesses and real estate groups, Lubbock Association of Realtors. We talked to them because they can merge all these concierge services with their business as, an extra portfolio, because people buying a house, selling a house, moving in, they need essential services. So as an agent, they can direct them to their Zoom account on the retail page and start building up a book of business. And as long as they stay with you and they keep paying their bill, you're going to make a commission off of that residual every month.
Yeah.
Do you call them, Ernest? Do you target a list, or how do you go about that? Like you said, apartment complexes. Do you go to the managers of these apartment complexes and reach out to them initially?
I do, and I leave them flyers and door hangers, and they give it to the new residents. I don't go door knocking on the apartments.
Sure.
When Lubbock first deregulated, there were a lot of other companies doing that. They would set up meetings with the residents in their community conference rooms, and they were signing them up right and left. A lot of people over several big complexes, gated communities, were coming on as Zoom customers, or Reliant or TXU or one of these other companies. As a matter of fact, I got a commercial TXU agent signed up with me. He sells commercial end on TXU Electric for billing, and I got him switched over to internet and Zoom Electric because Zoom was cheaper than his residential electric rates. So he loves it, you know. He said he can't sell it because it's a conflict of interest with his job. He is on a salary plus commission with the business end of TXU. I saw him in the store one day and I said, "Hey, Pablo, what's going on?" So I tend to remember people by first name and last name when I meet them.
Do you see what Robert says? They didn't have to twist my arm to get fiber internet. I already was on it, and when I found out what they were doing to run to it,
run it into your unit.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. And a lot of the people I talked to here in Lubbock, they're on Spectrum or AT&T or Optimum or one of the other services. They're either working with wireless or they're working on a hybrid system. Hybrid, of course, is coax from the terminal to the house, and then fiber from the box outside the house into the router. So it's a hybrid. It's not pure fiber. Vexus was the only one that was going 100%, and they're on a dedicated line, so they're not sharing that connection with 200 neighbors. When you get in and you start playing games and the kids are playing games and you're watching TV on 4 different units and you see those little spinners and it starts buffering.
You're freaking out.
You hear the kids screaming, "Dad!"
Yeah.
Get off the TV. I can't play my game. I'm losing. I'm getting killed.
The reason I ask you that, Ernest, I'm going to be real truthful. About 11 years ago or so, when I lost my dream job, so to speak, I was in the trade show industry. I knocked on doors to sell lawn care, and that was, you had to get very creative. That's why I ask you how you go about it. And there's when you knocked on certain doors, I did face people that had firearms here in rural Georgia. That's all I'm going to say. Tom's looking at me. It was pretty interesting. I got asked to move on only in language that I'm not going to.
We run into that here in Lubbock because Lubbock is a tough crowd. Okay?
Sure.
Lubbock really is a tough crowd.
It is.
And they've got, things on their doors, no soliciting. And I believe in the Second Amendment, and they got a silhouette of a pistol pointing at you and everything. And
that's about guns and guts there, man.
I had an 88-year-old woman come up. She opened up the door. She had to get up off the couch and go over to the door with a walker.
Right.
And I won't repeat what she told me, but she told me to get off of her doorstep. I didn't know Grandma talked like that.
Oh my goodness.
But you run into a few, and you just got to keep going, and talk to people about their pain points.
It's no different if you call someone on the phone too. I mean, you always get one that'll make your day. And I do weird stuff. Like if you said, "Don't ever call me again," I'll call you right back and say, "Hey, Ernest, I know you said don't ever call again, but was that like for eternity, next 6 months, a year?" And they just like, "You're not going to go away." All right. So you got to have fun with people though. And this guy started laughing.
it's funny that, Robert says I'm cold calling. It's a learning experience, and it is,
Oh, it
because
is.
when you're on the phone with them or at the door, and they looking at you through that little camera, they just ignore you. So you just mark it as not home, okay,
Yeah.
and go on. But the ones you do talk to, you got to be interesting,
Yeah.
and build a relationship with them. Um, I find it not difficult to kind of entertain people while I'm at the door. Uh, they'll come
Right.
to the door and I say, "Hey, I heard you was adopting old fogies like me and feeding them burritos." I said, "You got an extra room in your house?"
Oh, Lord.
And they start
Bam!
laughing. They start laughing at me, And I said, "No, really, my name is Ernest O'Dell. And I'm just here to talk to you, about some of your essential services." Um,
Nice.
and ask them about their internet. What's it costing them? What kind of internet do they have? Who are they using for electric? Who are they using for, their streaming television, their cell phones? Cell phones is real big over here at Texas Tech, and their parents, parents are usually paying the bill on their kids' phone. So you talk to the parents and get them switched over to 4 or 5 lines. That's good money. You get a couple of hundred of accounts on Flash Mobile, and you can make some decent coin
I,
out of that.
I like Texas because my son went to, he lived in Wichita Falls. I always called that God's country, that straight shot from DFW airport.
Yep.
Although I was half numb when I was driving half the time to catch up to him, he was doing a football game. So Gene and what I would leave at like 5 o'clock in the morning or something. But nice people. Shepherd Air Force Base is near
I
that.
was stationed there when I took my
Hey,
tech.
really?
Yeah. I took my tech school there when I was doing jets, airframes, and power plants. And then I went over to ATAC, you know.
See, I knew he served, Tom, because all three of us have, and that's why I say the Air Force
Yeah.
guys always had it going on with technology.
Yeah.
That's what I always admired of your MOS
Yeah.
capability.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And the people out in Wichita Falls, they're a little bit more laid back, kind of like
Yeah.
Levelland is out here.
Yes.
Totally different crowd, Levelland and surrounding areas around Lubbock. But boy, you get inside the city limits of Lubbock and it's
No.
wham.
They're intense. They're very
It's,
intense.
yeah, they are. And
And
I've made a lot of friends at the door.
don't ask them what they think because they'll tell you.
Oh yeah. I don't ask them what they think of their service. I said, what do you like about it, and what do you don't?
Right.
What do you not like about it?
Right.
So I get them talking. But if you're on fire when you go out there and talk to people, people will pay to watch you burn. They will. They just, go out there and light yourself like you're committing suicide or something. Yeah, let me get my camera out, and take a video of this and put it up on TikTok.
I want to watch this old dude get fried here. Or hey, watch this guy stumble and bumble. But you know what? I still signed up for the services. How'd that happen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
the app is on the phone or it's on the iPad. I like to use the iPad because it's more professional. But
right.
you can sign them up right there on your phone app.
Sure. Sure.
Sign
And
it
that
up.
makes sense. Total sense.
Yeah, and get
Tom,
them
what do you
plugged in.
think? What do you think of all this that Ernest brings to the table? I mean, you've got a lot of tools and a lot of knowledge, Ernest, that a lot of people don't know of. And I guess when I first met you way back in the day during the COVID, that big C word.
Yeah, over
Yeah,
on
that's how we kind of hooked up. And I'm
Ken
like,
Walls and Glenn
yep,
Moore's shower
yep,
and
yep.
um,
You do know a lot of different things, and
yeah,
it's important.
Scott
Yeah, there
McCain.
you go. Yeah, yeah. We'll hold this up.
I've got a membership in Grow Live, but
I know you do.
I haven't
And
been
that,
able to attend because I've been so busy.
I know. Well,
Ken, he'll message me. He says, "Where you been, boy?"
I know. And you're in Texas now, so yeah, I mean, they're in Texas. He is, so
He's
yeah.
up. They're up in Dallas.
Right, right,
And it's funny, we mentioned Ken and Glenn show, and a guy
right.
named Scott McCain.
Hmm.
Um, I went to a conference back in March or April last year or May with Ken and Glenn, and they put me on the hot seat.
What'd they do?
They put me on the hot seat, okay? And, so I shared my story, and some of the struggles I was going in, getting into. Uh, so they gave me some pointers, and what it all boiled down to is I had to get off my donkey and go to work. I was trying to overcomplicate and overanalyze it, so I
Right.
got my head straight. And, I love Ken and Glenn, those guys. We got to meet a lot of great people out
Right.
there. They came and picked me up over at Sheraton, and we went out and had lunch over at Jack's Burgers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, best burgers in Dallas.
Hey, Ernest, and I know Tom, he's into this as well as far as the mindset. How do you help people get unstuck, and how did you get unstuck? I mean, you mentioned something, you shared something there briefly, because everybody goes through those periods.
You got to start off with a little success, okay? If you see it work on a small basis, then you can kind of tell yourself, "Oh, okay, I can figure this out. Now all I have to do is multiply it."
Right.
You can build a business on addition if you want to. I could go out there and sign up 420 people right now on one street. It's a long street, by the way. It's about 2 miles long. I can hit those houses and, sign them
Right.
up and probably average about $26,000 a month on just one service.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
But what I do when I talk to people at the door, I say, by the way, I said, I noticed you got a truck out there and you do air conditioning and plumbing and heating and everything. I said, have you been, interested in looking at another way to make a little extra money on the side when you get through working? Have you thought about starting a side gig that you could put an hour or two a day in and build up a side income so that you can retire? They said, well, yeah, I have. I said, well, let me show you something real quick. So I'll pull up my presentation on my iPad, take them through about 15 minutes, and then give them a number and a link. Let's sit down and talk. And
Right.
I've got a lot of people, they just get excited about it. Some, they're retired. No, I'm not interested. Okay. They're happy with their Social Security check, and I'm not going to, I'm not going to knock that. If they got investments and they're happy, they're living on that, that's fine. It's kind of like those real estate investments that Grant Cardone puts out, get in there as an accredited investor, put your money in there for 10 years and start getting those cap rates 8 and 14% on an investment. Yeah, you can live, but use that for your seed money to invest in other growth verticals.
Right.
And real estate is one of them.
Gotcha.
So this is seed money, but it's big seed money. When you start
Right.
making $400,000 or $500,000 a month, that's pretty good seed money. Better than the lottery.
Awesome.
The odds are a lot better.
Very good. What do you think, Tom? You're in deep thought over there.
Well, I was just checking one of my emails. I just got somebody responded to one of my emails I put out, wants to talk. So it's kind of interesting. So
So that's more important than no. Ernest shut off his phone, man. His
No,
phone's probably fired up, man.
No, I just got it on silent. My trip log just came in and says, "Hey, you got." I use trip log
Right.
to track my mileage and my expenses.
We are at the top of the hour,
Yeah.
and we need to get Ernest to come back again. And
You want me to do a presentation for you?
sometime,
That'd be great.
That would be awesome.
Let's get together.
No, really. You can take it from power lead systems, how you start there, how you incorporate other things. I know Tom's asked about different services. I have asked you that in the past, and you just got that touch. You know how to put it together.
I can bring some people on. They can sit in with us and be in the audience, but not
right.
not on the show. But you want to see a good presentation on ACN. I've got one put together.
Cool. Yeah, I'm very familiar with ACN. Do you know Abe Gabor?
I've heard the name. He's been at some of the conferences.
Yeah,
Right.
he used to own in New York grocery stores, and he migrated out of it, replaced that income with ACN. So he's a pretty significant player. So we've had AB on.
Right.
Yeah, we just had a recent conference up in Dallas about a week ago, last weekend.
I think AB moved out towards you, Mark, up there.
I think he's in Atlanta somewhere.
Left New York, moved to the south.
Imagine that.
Well, if I didn't have to drive a 4-hour commute, I'd move back out to Douglasville. I used to work down in Buckhead.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Where?
And down there at P-Tech, Premier Technologies.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and then of course I would drive up to Cumming, to go to church. Was up in Cumming, Georgia, where our parish was. I would drive 75 miles one way to go to church.
It's crazy around here, isn't it?
But when I was living out west over there in Douglasville, I get on I-20. I get out there at 3:00 in the morning, and they were waiting on me.
Who, the police or
no, the traffic?
Oh, yeah, no, it's bad. You got to be strategic driving around here. And I've shared this with Tom at our Peachtree Corners Business Association. They tease me about, why don't you run for office? Because now they're going crazy and building things. It's okay, but we all know when you build things, there are people involved with it, and people equals traffic and cars. And
when I found Marta, I said, God sent me a blessing. When I found Marta, I just parked the car at Marta and rode in.
Yeah, that's how I would go downtown. I took the train. I did. I'd take the Chamblee station, take it straight in. Yeah. Even to this day, if I go to a trade show to see a customer, I'll take the train. I'm not driving down there. It's not worth it.
Metro Atlanta.
Yeah.
Transit Authority.
Oh my goodness. I didn't know he lived here, man. Now I know I really like you, man.
Yeah. And of course, I've been up to Wisconsin. We used to go up to Madison and with Boscobel.
Okay.
I had some people up in Boscobel and Madison, Wisconsin. I had some people that brought me in for a contract over there. I was in Madison for 18 months.
Really?
Yeah. And did some work for the state.
Cool.
Yeah. Worked on some of their tax systems.
Very good.
Love to have you back again.
We do.
Be very specific with your opportunity, and we're here to support you.
You just tell me when to show up.
Okay.
We'll be.
I'll keep my schedule open for you guys.
Well, I appreciate that, Ernest. I really do.
Well, we're at the top of the hour, and I just want to thank all those that have participated tonight on the live stream, and those that are hearing this on the replay. Hey, tag and share this information. We never know how we can impact somebody's life by sharing this information. It only takes one person to make a difference in somebody's life. And Ernest, hopefully that what you're doing, you want to impact people's lives by giving them opportunity, help them find their way to make that passive residual income. That's all what I'm about as well. Yeah. So do the hard work.
Shout out to Robert. I haven't talked to him in a long time. Robert.
There's our contact information if you want to talk to him specifically. His phone number is there.
Yeah.
His website, I went to his website while you were talking and checked it all out, and a lot of great information there. So be free to reach out there to Ernest, and glad to have you on as a guest again.
Thank you so much.
Right.
Thanks, Ernest. Really appreciate you taking time to share with us what you're doing right now.
Yep.
Okay. Ernest, I'll be in touch with you on a couple things. So
Okay.
I'll shoot you an email. We'll book a virtual meeting, and
Okay.
we'll chat. Okay.
You can put me back in the green room, and I'll let you guys close it out.
Yeah. Don't go anywhere, and we'll close it on out.
All right.
Thanks, Ernest. Have a great day. God bless you.
Thanks,
God bless
Ernest.
you all.
All right.
As always, I enjoy Ernest.
He's a neat guy.
Yeah.
Ernest is a true giver. He's got a great heart, and he's been in the valley, so to speak, and he's climbing up the mountaintop now. But everybody has their, as my dad used to tell me, your version of. Everybody gets their shot in the barrel, so to speak, because we all struggle. We all go through struggles. And it's never going to leave you, but I love Ernest's approach. I have saved that number. I have a Texas number I will call from. Okay.
Yeah.
But he's a good man.
Yeah. So with that all said, I'm going to do our commercial. Is it it's okay if I do a commercial?
Sure. Is this the Q commercial or B Connect?
I'll just plant the seed with that. I'll bring a banner up here for Q Communications. Just let me find my banners here.
This is Tom.
Q Fundraising. This is a nonprofit company I've created. I use two different affiliate network marketing products and services in there, but one of them is Q. Q is a streaming platform that brings robust amount of streaming at reduced cost for home entertainment, and the proceeds that a nonprofit generates with that 10%, or actually it's a $10 per subscription. They get a commission per subscription. So that could add up pretty quickly on that. So it's a great product. Number one, nearly 100% of the people that we know has a television, and nearly 92% of people are paying for some sort of streaming services, whether it be Disney,
Right.
Paramount, you name it. They all
Right.
add up. The average family is spending about $1,300 a year for those services. That blew me away when I did my market research. Here we can come in and give them equal, if not more, value in streaming services for everything, for your local news, all your streaming platforms, TVs, movies, you name it, sporting events, for about half the money. So it's a win-win-win for everybody. So it's a pretty powerful service that most people are using somewhere. So
Right.
don't hesitate. You can go to my website right there. You can contact me there. Schedule an appointment. We can talk about the service, the opportunity, the fundraising, whatever the case may be. So just want to do a plug for Q Up Fundraising. And that's it, Mark. Anything you want to say?
No, I think we covered the gamut of what's out there and what people are doing. People like Ernest, and thank you for being here.
It's our pleasure. It's our pleasure. So
Always a good thing.
yeah. Without any further ado, we'll see you next week. Same station, same time, 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern, and 3 p.m. Pacific.
Look at that. The man's got it down.
The left coast. Don't ask me what mountain is, and don't ask, I know what Central is. So I got that pretty much wired. Like Jeffrey Gittimore said there's only one time zone. That's Eastern.
Eastern, yeah, because
Yeah.
everything revolves around New York, so to speak.
Yeah, so you can figure it out from there, no matter where you're at. So I want to thank those that made comments, watch this, tag and share. Like I said, you never know how our guests can impact somebody's life out there. So I just want to thank Ernest again for being on, and we'll sign on out. God bless everybody. We'll see you next week.